Hi, and welcome to today's video where I will be talking about how do project managers measure and report on project progress. Some of the areas I will be covering is some of the key metrics I have used to measure my project progress. And it's not limited to that, but you can expand on that. Some of the tools and techniques you can use for tracking the project progress, reporting project progress. How would you do that and what the importance of that is. And I'll try and then put you some real world examples of where you can use that and then some best practices. So without delay, let me crack on with the video. So as you know, as a project manager, it's really key to measure your progress and where you are against the agreed baseline timelines that have been agreed with your stakeholders. However, some of the metrics I have used to measure and keep me on track and inform my stakeholders is as follows. The first one is task completion percentage. Measure the percentage of completed tasks against the total task, and it gives a good indication from a very high level without going into too much detail of where you are, what you achieved, what percentage you've completed, and it gives a good clear picture. The other one is milestone achievements. You can then measure how many milestones within your project you may have, for project managers, a milestone is a zero activity measure where you've actually achieved something and you've completed a task. Which is really, really valuable. So you can have multiple milestones within your project. You assign those and say, yeah, I've completed this milestone. You might have 5 or 6 milestones, which also gives you a good, clear percentage of what progress you're making. The other one is earn value management, EVM. So this is where you assess project performance by comparing planned and actual cost, which is really good. So we agree that we spend £1,000 to do this piece of work, actually ended up being £3,000 because of blah, blah, blah. And it gives you good measure of where your financials are going. Financial tracking is a big one as well. And then the other one is schedule adherence. Measure the project's adherence to the plan schedule. What's your variance? Have you achieved? Have you been over successful, or have you failed by 5-10%? Whatever that might be, you need to make sure you've measured that as well. So some of the tools and techniques for tracking project management. Now, these are all my personal ones I've used, which is my first one is a Gantt chart, brilliant tool for if you're doing the critical path method, not for agile, I would say, but you can use it if you wish. But Gantt chart's really good. You can put all your timeline, you can put your dependencies, your tasks in there, and you can track. The beauty is once you've done it once, you can maintain it, and any delays you can see quite clearly, should I say, which helps you track and then report back. There are other elements of project management software you can use, which you might have in-house, which then tracks your tasks, your tracking, your collaboration, reporting, all those things. You've got Jira boards, you've got there's lots of other boards that you may have within your company, such as Trello as well, but there's huge amounts that internal companies have that you should use to your advantage. The other one is performance dashboards. Now, I've done this where I've created my own Excel dashboard spreadsheet where it monitors progress, and I just put that in at a very high level, single page document that covers my performance dashboard, which covers what percentage are complete, what are our key milestones, what are key risks, and what our next steps are, so that we've got a weekly running total. And that is supported back with a highlight report for any detail. The next one is agile boards. Now, if you're in an agile environment, then using Kanban or Scrum boards is really, really useful, very visual. You can monitor your tasks, status, and your progress, and it's really, really good to make sure that you keep on top of things. So next is reporting project progress. And it's the importance is really that you do this regularly, depending on your stakeholders, and so people are engaging where you are, what needs to be done, and how close you are to the finish line. And some of the things that you should include in your reporting, in my opinion, is the overview of the overall project goals and objectives, summary of the completed tasks and milestones, current status on ongoing tasks, where are you, what things are stopping you, identify potential risks and issues, a real good one. And your resource utilization and your budget update. How far are you off from your resource allocation to your budget? Don't forget, for all this reporting, you need to do the prep work up front, and those are the kind of areas that I would say you cover. Moving on really is real world examples. So I'm going to give only a couple of examples here. of where you would measure and report techniques. So I'm going to use a construction, let's say construction project manager. You'll be tracking construction milestones and budget utilization. So that's one. And if you're delivering a software development project, you can utilize agile methodologies and your burn down charts to monitor tasks and completion. I'll throw another one in, which is event planning and project management. So you can report progress on event logistics, vendor management, and attendee, registration. But it all depends on the project you're delivering. So get those metrics really put in place. So some of the best practices which I haven't included on the slide is really, I would say, is that you make sure that you've actually established clear project goals and define measurable objectives, which then will give you ability to report on. Regularly update and track progress, and using the chosen metrics of whatever you've chosen, make sure you're using that regular and being consistent. Now, you need to amend it where you are requested by your stakeholders, but being consistent means that it's easy to read, straight to the point, and people know what they're looking at. Again, communication with your stakeholders and transparency is key, and also anticipate and address potential risk, and make sure that you handle the risks and issues really proactively and head on. Don't fester on them. And then again, continue to refine and improve progress measurements. Just look at those and say, can we do things better? But try not to change it too much, because unfortunately your stakeholder will then will get bored of trying to figure out what's going on. Keep it consistent, keep it regular. So in conclusion, reporting is really, really key as part of your project. Key metrics, your task completion, milestone achievements, your schedule adherence, your earned value management are key. Use tools such as your Gantt chart, any other utilized project management software, agile boards for your Kanban and your Scrum within the agile framework. But make sure you have got a clear overview of what you're trying to achieve, so that you can measure on those. I hope that was helpful, and thank you for listening.